The history
And I
of
actually went
Ofoofogia.
on YouTube and I typed it all up and I sent it to everybody.
Yeah, so we're talking about Ofoofogia, Mum. What are
Yeah.
you saying?
Well, I'm saying that my father, when he was a new teacher in Ofoofogia in the 1930s, him and Viliua and Tongia Viviani together, they composed the song Ofoofogia Te Loto. It represents how they feel about pushing themselves towards achieving the levels that they were at that point. And because Miss Kulana was a year one teacher, Liua and Tongia were the mentors of my dad's career at the time. And when they got that, he wrote the lyrics. So he gave it to the Matuas to edit, and that is what they did. And then he was asked, you know how in those days you're told to do something, you're not asked to do something. And Missy Kulana, being a very outgoing, a very outspoken fuata who's wanting to be a teacher, he wanted to do the lyrics and the tune. So he came up with the tune, Ofoofogia Te Loto, because he was speaking from his heart and how hard it was to study in those years, and those formative years of his life. And because Tongia and Viliua were the mentors, and my father did not have a dad of his own at the time to help him. But they saw in my father how very, very outgoing and very wanting, the urge to the willingness to learn. He reckons if he was going to take control of the learning of newer children, he must learn from the mentor. And the two who were coaching him at the time, I can use that now, is Viviani and Viliua. Viliua is the eldest of the older teachers, and Tongia, of course. And my father, Miss Kulena, was so grateful for the mentoring and the development of his career, and that was why he was the way he was. And even if I say so, and I'm not saying this because he's my dad, I watched my father taught in my first year teaching in Niue when I graduated and went back. And he took me to Liolo, and he said to me, "No wha koe ki tua he wahenga hako si ono mo ia koe ki au kai whakakoe o te whanau." And from there on, wow, he observed me while I was teaching the students of Liolo. And years later, one of those students, Tasha, came to me here in New Zealand, and he says to me, "Tiva, do you remember me?" And I said, "Sorry, but I have no idea who you are." Then he told me his name, and he was one of the from Fusio Tuai. And he says, "You remember, you were my teacher. Man, you were good, but you were just like your dad. You punched me, you gave me a hiding." But it was that hiding, he said this, it was that hiding that made me learn and want to learn more. So thank you, teacher.
Thank you, Mara.
Thank you, mother. But I'm very grateful to my father. And because he told me to be a teacher.
Nice.
He said, "Whanua koe ma mea ki whaiaonga ke tūnga au. Ko piutasi koe ringoa koe taketa. Ko sione liwa koe tangata tāwhari." So you take on my job and you'll be fine. But you have to go on a scholarship. So I said, okay, I'll go on a scholarship.